als schuin aan moeten zitten misschien. Voilà. Okay, let's do some sound checks first.
Okay.
Let's see how it looks. Zijn we hier live ondertussen? Oké.
Ah, dat is vertraging.
Ja, het is 5 seconden vertraagd. Right. Check. Sound check.
Hallo? Hallo? Dat is echt meer dan 5 seconden, hè?
Grappig, hè? Dat is natuurlijk leuk. Oh shit, dat is echt 15 seconden of zo. Ja, zie je moet je echt wel redelijk dicht houden. Maar ze bij Beuris of zo van? Oké, nu kunnen we dat uitzetten. Ça va. We gaan gewoon redelijk dicht moeten praten bij de microfoon. Anders gaan mensen ons luider moeten zetten. Hè. Welcome. Today we're gonna be talking with Beuris, a good friend of mine. We've known each other for not so long of a time. I think about 6-7 years.
7 years. I think 8. 7-8 years.
8 already.
We are 26, 18, I think.
Yeah. 8 years then, okay.
8 years.
It's counting. We originally met through friends, and then we meet each other in Leuven, where we studied similar things, but we hang out with the same people. I don't know, is there anything else you want to say about yourself, or you want to just get
not
right
really.
into it?
Let's just
Not
get
really.
into it.
Alright, so today we're gonna talk about our lives. I don't think that deep, but just about the daily decisions we make, and if the direction we're going is how we're envisioning it or how we want to be. So I have 5 questions that I want to ask for myself and for Beuris, and we're gonna try to answer them as good as we can. So the first question is gonna be, how much percentage of time in a week are we satisfied with what we do? So we don't have to put raw numbers on it, but we can make a guess from, okay, I don't know. Second question will be, is satisfaction similar to happiness for us? So maybe there's a little bit of a nuance difference. I don't know how you see it, but third question will be, how do we see our own full potential? So I guess obviously not everybody works at full potential all the time. So I don't know how you see it, but maybe we haven't reached that yet. So maybe we have at some point. But how do you see your own full potential? Fourth question will be, what kind of decisions can potentially prevent us from reaching our full potential? So I think this is common for everybody in life, that there are certain decisions that we make that hinder us or make it difficult for us to achieve our goals and what we try to aspire in, to be in life. So let's see what kind of categories of decisions, it doesn't have to be very specific, but just what kind of maybe categorical mistakes that we make or bad decisions that we make that bring us back to where we started maybe. And the last question will be, are we gonna be happy if we express our full potential? So this one is I think the most interesting one for me, at least, because I think about it a lot. If I'm actually gonna be happy if I do all the things that I aspire to be or dream to be, or if I just will be similarly happy or even happier when I'm just not giving a fuck and doing my own thing in my own life.
Yeah.
You like the questions?
Yeah, definitely some interesting ones in there.
I think for us both, we have similar pathways in certain senses. In other senses, it differs. But I think these kind of questions can be similar for us, but maybe there is some distinction in how we can see each other or how we see for each other. So let's dive into the first question. How much percentage of time in a week are we satisfied with what we do? You want to go first with this one, or?
Yeah, I'll try to go first. So The way I see it, I think it's obviously very dependent on the person we're talking about, but I think we over tend to overestimate other people's happiness and like their state of mind, and like think that we are in somehow a worse position, and that's at least how I experience it.
You
I've
feel
caught
like,
myself like thinking that I'm the only one that is like suffering through 50% of the day, while there's actually a lot of people that are just like normalized to it.
so you think everybody actually is below the 50% of satisfaction in a week, or how do you see that? Are there people in your
I think
environment that you think are more
I think there's definitely
satisfied?
people that are higher on there, but yeah, definitely it's definitely a big range. I think it's just hard to yeah, it's hard to know these things. Honestly, it's hard to know
How?
what other people. But I
Yeah.
think like being growing up and getting older is just kind of dealing with annoying tasks and dealing with not being satisfied. You like that's part of growing up, and maybe I'm a little late to that.
Oh, wait, I don't think anybody is really late or early. I think, yeah, we all have our different ways, and at some areas one might be more mature than others. So
Yeah.
I don't think there's like one scale that you can use for how mature you are.
Mm.
But I think for me it's pretty similar. I would say about 40% of my week I actually feel satisfied, and this um, can also be higher, and especially when I feel like I have been productive in that week. So if I did the things that I wanted to do, I feel like I deserve more the time that I'm um, alleviating myself, or like not being too productive.
Yeah.
And I would feel satisfied in those moments also. So there is like a threshold for me. When I reach a certain productivity in a week, then the chilling time and the other time also becomes satisfying, yeah,
Like more satisfying.
more
Yeah.
satisfying. But if I don't reach this productive time limit, then the satisfaction time, or the pleasure time, would not feel as satisfied. Other,
Yeah.
so for me, it can range very much. Sometimes in the worst case, 10-20%, I think,
Yeah.
and in the best case, weeks, I think I can reach up to 60-70%.
Yeah.
But
But that's a good point though. Like maybe that's also part of growing older is that you need to feel more productive. Because when I think back to my student time, I I did feel this way near the end of it, but it took me a long time to feel guilt for not being productive. Like the highest goal for a while for me was just having a good time, and that's kind of been changing. You grow older and you
I think,
realize that there's maybe there has to be more than just being happy on the short term.
no,
Mm.
definitely. I
No,
can see that you also changed drastically in these years. Even like
mm,
before I drastically change, or am trying to drastically change, I don't know. But I think, yeah, the very good point that during our student years, we are very content and happy with just achieving the goals set by society. Like
yeah,
you have to get a good grade, and then your
mm,
parents would be
barely.
happy, or you like you advance to the next year,
Yeah.
and your parents would be somewhat happy or content
Mm,
with your performance, but you actually didn't feel like you performed anything at all for yourself. I think like
yeah.
it was more like, oh, I have to do this thing, but if I do this, I can feel less
Yeah.
guilt for
Exactly. It's
not
never
being
gonna be
productive.
like something to be very proud of in those years. No,
Yeah,
agreed.
I think it's also like how we grow through that years.
Yep.
That we learned the value of being productive for ourselves. Maybe for other people, it was more given with growing up. But I think for us,
Mm,
it was more something we had to discover for ourselves, because we didn't feel like
yep.
obliged to do things for others, or get
Yep.
certain things done for making somebody else happy. We were all always very driven to make us ourselves happy, I think.
Yeah. True. No.
So yeah, I think it can only increase for us. But yeah, how do you see? Do you see it only as a way up, or is there also like times that you do feel like, okay, this is like a month or two that I'm performing worse than I want, or being less
Yeah,
satisfied?
definitely. It still fluctuates a lot for me. Like sometimes, some weeks I just feel less encouraged to perform to my full potential, and some weeks I do. It's just getting to motivate yourself to and stay convinced of the goals you're setting yourself.
Yeah, I think that one
Mm.
is a big one for us, that we
Mm.
kind of give up on the goals maybe sometimes, or give up on the dreams,
Yeah,
instead of just trying to stick with it no matter what.
I mean, we do set a lot of goals, but sometimes also like unachievable. And if you fail, it's demotivating. And yeah, just some.
Yeah, I think that's a classic pitfall for that
Mm.
has been for us.
Yep.
Trying to set yourself some goals of what you want to
Mm.
achieve, and then maybe the expectation was too high at the start of
Mm.
what you would feel or get back when you achieve that level, and it never really felt that way, I think, for me at least. When I achieved these things, like for example staying sober for 2 weeks, it was not like, okay, I've really proven myself now, it was more
Mhm.
like I always knew I had it in me, but there's like no intention for me to express this behavior of self-restraint
Yeah.
until more recently.
Yeah. It's just staying convinced of the ideas that you had and why you wanted to do it in the first place. Just, yeah, gotta stay focused.
Stay
Stay
focused.
focused.
It's Mimi, but it's
But
all these
honestly,
one-liners always hit,
there's a lot of good ones.
There's a reason why these Instagram one-liners always hit,
Yeah. Dude, don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to yourself
Yeah.
from the day before.
Classic.
Classic.
That's what I would wake
It's
up
very
with.
true.
I slept last day, so today I'm doing better.
Well,
That's true. All right, I think that was good for the first question. Or do you have anything to add?
No, it's a good starter.
All right, so is satisfaction similar to happiness for you or for us?
We kind of touched on that already, I think, like slightly, that that it's starting to feel more linked the older we grow. Same applies here for me. I think just the satisfaction of doing something useful and then relaxing it just feels way more right than
Yeah.
just relaxing. And happiness, I mean, there's exceptions, but
Yeah, I think happiness can come from many places.
Hmm.
So the happiness I get from feeling satisfied is very different than the happiness I get from going out or
yeah,
being with friends or whatever. It's kind of something that I can be proud of for my own, but
yeah,
it's not something you can really you can share it with others, I mean, but they will never feel the same proudness for that achievement as you
no,
can
exactly.
feel for it.
It's a different kind of happiness. It's just like you feel like you're on a path to something, and that makes you feel good. Just the fact that you're going somewhere. While if you're going out, you're just happy
Yeah, and
because
I think
you are there.
also for me, satisfaction is mostly related to how I see myself being useful in our society.
Yeah, how
Or in
you
my
see
own
yourself
life.
growing, probably as well.
So I don't say everything I work is like satisfying, but I would say most of the things that I do give me satisfaction. It's kind of difficult to make a distinction, because on the one hand I am satisfied with what I do, but on the other hand I don't feel like this can give me the full satisfaction for a long run. So
Yeah,
it's there are also for me different kind of satisfactions, like
yeah,
short-term satisfaction and longer-term satisfaction. And I think, yeah, short-term is something we all can do very easily.
yeah.
You just watch some videos and you're like, okay, I learned this one thing on YouTube today. I can feel satisfied. But I think the long-term satisfaction is way more difficult and hopefully longer lasting. I hope.
Well, I think so. Yeah.
But we'll touch
that's really a working point.
Yeah.
But yeah, set big goals and work towards them. Haven't been too successful at that, so that's what we're
No,
going.
I think you already achieved many things that you wanted to achieve.
No, true,
So-
but just like maintaining
Setting realistic
yeah,
goals and
just following through,
constantly. I get that.
and not just going in
That's-
waves, like good, bad.
It's like very difficult to like each time complete the goal you set. I think some goals are like we say are more realistic and they go easier maybe. I don't know, but I think it's maybe normal that sometimes we set goals that are not realistic in order for us to see a more realistic goal. Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
This 7 days not smoking is not working for me. Maybe 5 days not smoking is working. That's how I looked at it. For me, it was difficult to say what would work for me. So I rather just go with what feels good. And I don't know where I'm going with that.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I'm also thinking about a lot of sports things, sports goals. It's like I'm gonna go run every day for a week, and then you run every day for a week, and then you just stop. So it's just like
it's unsustainable, I think. But a good friend Max is doing pretty regularly, so in a way it is sustainable. It's just are we willing to put in the work, I guess, and that's difficult to. It's easy to say, I'm gonna do that, but it's a whole other thing to actually do it, I guess. All right, third question. How do we see our own full potential? I think this one is something I also don't know for myself yet. I have to think about it a bit. But it's kind of difficult to answer because it's also intertwined with the last question for me. Like, if I'm gonna put in my full potential, can I maintain this for such a period of time without actually losing my mind?
Yeah, it's hard to know these things until you're probably doing it and experiencing it.
Have you experienced it?
No.
Full potential? No.
I don't think so. No.
First year of university. Was that
I mean,
full
maybe that was
potential?
maybe realistic full potential of going to class, going to class,
minimum.
doing that regularly.
No, that was a
Um,
good year. You told me.
I hope it's not my full potential, but
And
Nah.
your full potential at that moment in time.
yeah,
It always grows like how you are as a person.
exactly.
But how would you see yourself in, like, realistically? Say, what would the ideal week or day rhythm look like for you to achieve your full potential, you think? What would be like, okay, I have to work this many hours, I have to do this sport, eat these things, go to sleep at that? How do you see that?
I don't know. I feel like I would work not more than 8 hours a day. But
No?
no. Right now I'm feeling like that. It might change, but if I were to work 8 hours productively for 5 days, I'd be happy.
Then that's your full potential.
Yeah, right now I
Yeah,
can't see
that's-
much further than that. And I hope to start something for myself then, and then these barriers will probably be blurred because
I think you
have to work for yourself,
much,
and it will motivate you way more.
Yeah, it's true. I think working
But
for
that's
yourself.
probably a good goal as well.
So is that something you want to do in the near future, or I still want to be employed for some time, trying to?
No, I definitely want to be. I mean, I
Self-employed,
want to
I mean.
find my self-employed. I want to find my thing, which which interests me, where I feel like, I don't know, still only working for a year, so looking for
Jobs.
looking for no, I'm not looking for jobs.
Just kidding.
Looking for the interests and what I'm good at.
The match between your education and your interests, or
Yeah,
because you
yeah,
maybe have not fully found that one yet.
no, exactly. It's a lot of searching, and also there's not really a lot of similarities in the subject you're good at might not be the industry you want to work in, or like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard. I don't know how people decide these things.
No, I have even more difficulties with imagining like having a real family, like, and debts and things to pay off. Like
Mm,
we are like nearing 30, I would say, and it's not. It's a
don't
few.
say that,
It's
bro.
it's all people such a oh no age. Don't say it. It's just we're getting older.
You're almost a year older, so don't
I know,
compare
it's
me,
just
bro.
But anyways, we're getting older towards
Mm.
28 and
27.
I cannot imagine myself like providing now, right now. Like
No.
it's so difficult to imagine reaching the full potential in my head and then also imagining I have to provide for a family and like we have troubles now maybe with being engaged with our goals, actually following up on them, but there's like no way in my head that I can see myself doing these things and also have to provide for a family. It's kind of
I think
upsetting.
life just becomes way more determined. It's just set. You have to do these things. You have to provide. Like it just removes a lot of choice in your life, I think, and that might be like comforting. You just do what you have to do.
Feeling satisfied maybe.
Exactly. You just do what you have to do. I mean, it's not really something I'm ready for. Like I enjoy choices and
freedom.
freedom. But
No, I think yeah, but it's interesting that like people are getting kids later and later now, and now more pressure is laid upon what we do with those years in between. Like we don't really have too much expenses. We cannot really grow that fast in the area that we are. We can, but we also cannot. You know, like there are certain limits. So I find it interesting how we are gonna try to evolve, or like how people in the future are gonna be more consciously maybe active with what they're gonna do with their free time and how they're gonna optimally make use of it, so that's maybe possible to provide for a family. I don't know. Everything is getting
yeah,
more expensive,
no, true.
but
Yeah, just
it's just a weird thought that I always have. Like
yeah,
I feel like I'm doing okay and I'm reaching my 70-60% of my potential at these moments. Maybe 40, I don't know. When in a good week
that's
of
a
work,
big difference.
in a good week of work, it would be 60-70% of my full potential, I think. But yeah,
But you should average it out because
average is, I guess, between 50, 45, I guess.
yeah, that's a nice improvement that can be made.
But like I don't know the full potential. Yeah, okay, we'll get that there in the
Yeah.
last question. How I see the full potential. So let's go to the next question. What kind of decisions can potentially prevent us from reaching our full potential? So I think this one is a harder question. I believe that there are some pitfalls that I fell in every week. Maybe like I can say for myself, like, oh, I was not gonna smoke from Monday to Thursday, and then I plan in a half day of vacation like today, and then I'm like, oh, today I can smoke again, like, and then there's so much like potential waste there, and it's difficult because like on the other hand, it's like, okay, it's a vacation day, but there's like this constant struggle from trying to be productive but also not overdoing it and
Yeah.
pulling back on the handrem, like, oh no, I cannot go fully psycho mode into this because
Yeah.
maybe I'll burn myself out or I become like this weird guy that never goes out or games or whatever or does anything fun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think for me I just have to go to like discipline, and just it starts with just like neglecting it 1 or 2 days what you're supposed to do, and then yeah, it all just it spirals out of control. You just need to be truthful to yourself and just, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, it's something I
It's
think we
hard.
say a lot of times. Maybe
Yeah.
probably everybody listening.
Yeah, no.
I think what worked for me or what I felt that is easier to do is every behavior that I like or don't like, I would try to pinpoint it. Like if I go to the gym, I would identify what kind of triggers made me want to go. Like, okay, I haven't really done anything useful today. It's good weather. I have to go outside. I still have to get in 5 hours of sport. I identify these triggers, and what I want to do is make it difficult for those. For example, if I identify a bad one, I identify, for example, 4 triggers, and I would be trying to make it, like how I see it is, put in more steps between you and the difficult behavior or the bad behavior, I would say. So if I for example, if I don't want to smoke on this day or be verleid, be tempted with smoking right now, I would put everything away in my can, in my drawer. I would put it out of sight. This one is an easy example, but I mean like putting more steps in between me and the bad behavior that I don't want to associate with made it easier for me to not do it. And also, if I have a good behavior that I want to stimulate, for example, go to the fitness, I would make it easier by giving me some wiggle room in another area or something. I would be like, okay, I went to the gym today, or for example today, okay, I have a vacation day, I can sit here and say like, okay, I'm not supposed to smoke on Monday, and I took half a day of vacation, but I said to myself, okay, if I have that day, then I can at least go to the gym, and then I feel satisfied with the good behavior that I do. So I don't, it's difficult for me to actually say it because I've not practiced it really practically too much. But I believe like putting in more steps or taking out steps is an easier way for us to maybe become or do the things we always say we're gonna do. But I guess for everybody is different. For me, it felt like making it easier for the. It's kind of obvious, I think.
No, it's obvious. I just haven't analyzed it my own. Like I haven't analyzed it that deeply. I just tend to look back at the days that I was doing the things I said I would do, like run 2-3 times a week or whatever, or go swimming, like just do those activities that I just feel a lot better about myself than when I don't do it, and that motivates me. Like just, but it's more like retroactive because I don't do it for a week and I'm like, that wasn't the best week. How can I make this week better?
And do you analyze then why that week was different, or
I
don't know.
Don't really do it. I just blame it on my weakness and just move on. I don't go too deep in it. Like I just
it can give valuable
it would probably be
information.
valuable.
Yeah.
Probably be valuable. But
like
I'm just like,
it's maybe my obsession a bit that I analyze a lot of my surroundings of what I do. But I think
it's probably not super complicated. Like you weren't having the best week and you let that affect you into making it even worse.
Sometimes it's really obvious if I really am conscious of it. So, for example, I was walking back from my car the other day, and I was like, okay, I really had a good day. I went to work. I did my no smoking day, and then I saw somebody cross me with a joint, and he was like smoking, and it instantly triggered me for, okay, let's say fuck it today. I had a good day. And I gave up on that idea of my good day in that instant of the moment.
But the idea was already there. Like
the idea is always there, but I think making it more difficult for that idea to express himself is how I can, I think, contain myself from, because it was such a weird moment. Like, I just saw and smelled that guy smoking, and instantly the whole day turned for me. It was like a coin I flipped at that moment. Like, okay, I'm gonna say fuck it today. And it didn't make any sense, like a random guy on the street influencing what I want to achieve for that day. It was kind of weird. So, I don't know. I just wanted to share that to you because it might seem like trivial things, but sometimes it is trivial, and it's just your brain that tries to search for something to latch onto, I think. Like, okay, this guy is also fucking up his day by smoking at 5 o'clock. You can also do this, I think,
like that, yeah.
I think it's your brain trying to search for an excuse for you to do it that way or that moment.
Yeah.
And I constantly, or like from time to time, catch myself doing these kind of things. So I don't know. It's just something I recently noticed within myself. Do you want to add anything to the full potential, or?
No, not really. I think
Do you believe other people around us are like at 100% or full potential all the time?
I think a lot of people are not bothered by it.
Not bothered by it, okay.
That's like happy with what they do, comfortable. It's not about climbing or like.
Yeah, and do you think the ones that really climb in life are like 100% engaged of their full potential, or is it like they also realize maybe that it's not possible? I don't know. It's just maybe you've
hard to say, like hard to generalize there.
That's true, because maybe we have a very small pool of people that we know that could be this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. I don't know. Maybe if anybody's listening, let me know if you are like, I feel like I give my full potential every day. Maybe my parents do that. I think they work very hard each day. I would not be able to do that. So maybe they feel like they are giving their 100% each day.
Yeah.
But I think for the younger people, maybe it's more difficult to say that people can give their 100%. I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels like very, very mythical, like giving the actual 100. I don't know even how it even feels, It's kind of weird.
It's just true. Like since I started working, I haven't worked. I mean, the first few weeks I was working 5 days a week at the office, and I never really got into that rhythm. Soon I was working 2 days from home, 3 days from home, and it's become normalized.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know like my full. I haven't reached the limit of like.
I think our environment is also.
It allows you to slack a lot.
Yeah.
So
I think.
I need more structure.
Yeah, we all partially share a burden there.
Yeah.
That the environment is, but I think it should not also be.
It's
like
on
fully
us.
productive.
No.
It's like a good balance, I think, but
it's really nice that you can make, like you can plan your own week and you have this flexibility. Just need to be. Just need to be adult enough to like set your priorities.
I think we're a bit too childish for that part.
Yeah. Wait. Whatever.
No, you want to say
no? No. Just like
we
need to experience more things.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We are only growing and evolving, and we'll see where we get. All right, last question, and then you're off the hook for The BTB 5 deadly questions.
Let's
Just wanted
go.
to meme it a bit. Okay, are we gonna be happy if we perform, express our full potential? What do you think?
Uh, uh, it's, uh, it's another very situational one, probably. If I'm talking about myself, I think so. I think so. Like
You believe like
you
giving
want to leave a mark. Like it's like the whole meaning of life and why are we here and
Can
yeah.
you only leave a mark if you give your full potential?
No, but that's how I've answered that question. So it's like
Okay.
I'm yeah.
You believe you will leave your mark if you express your full potential. Or
Yep. And I won't have regrets. Just like endless regrets. I could have done that. I could have done that. I no.
and you see yourself like deep diving into work or just being so
It
so
could be
driven with work and family that you feel on both ends satisfied, or how do you see this full potential?
it could be whatever. Just it could be a family or it could be sports or it could be work. Just like be passionate about what you do for the majority of the week. That's
A good balance of different kind of
yeah.
areas.
Yeah. I mean, could be that you're very passionate about work and you fill your whole week with it, but I doubt it. It'd be probably be a mix. Just yep.
Okay. And do you think you will reach this within 5 years or something?
5 years, I would hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
before you're 30.
yeah, definitely before I'm 30.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I will reach
I
there.
don't know. I have to say these things. It also motivates myself.
Okay.
And you know this. They say things out loud to make it real. So it's gonna happen.
Yeah, now you're saying it to a whole audience of 3 viewers, maybe. So
Let's go.
shout out to the
Mark my
three
words.
three listeners. I don't know if it's three actually, but
Hmm.
there might be some people listening.
And
No.
how do you see it?
I think it's like with seasons. Some periods of time I will be very happy that I work hard and achieve maybe a very or a very precise goal. For example, like a little side project or
Mm-hmm.
some promotion I want to get at work. But I don't believe that it's something that I really have to put in the like. I don't believe like if I put in 100% of my effort and productivity tomorrow that I will be happy or like content where I'm gonna be. I believe this is something that has to grow on me, that I find something that satisfies me and makes me happy at the same time, because this is also not always is the case, I think.
Hmm.
Sometimes I can be satisfied with my week, but it was maybe not the best week. For example, last week I didn't really did the no smoke Monday to Tuesday, but I still had a good week. I did the things I wanted to do. I got some things done. I talked to the people I wanted to talk, and it felt like a good week. So I think happiness and satisfaction lies different for me, and then the potential that I bring to the table to that is also very different. But yeah, like you say, I think it depends a lot of the the goals and the objectives that you set for yourself.
Hmm.
If your work is something you really want to put in your time, then I think I could reach the full potential. But
Yeah.
at my current job, I don't think I'll ever have 100%
No.
of my effort put in.
But even if it's not your job, don't you think? Wouldn't you feel some regret in any part of your life, like that you could be doing better, and you'll look back at it like, oh,
I don't know. It's like the question of what are we supposed to do for me. Like, I don't believe there is really too much meaning to life in the sense of what an individual should do.
No.
I believe everybody has their own interpretation of what they want to achieve and realize in life. Some people are gonna be like me for their whole life, that they just float down the river and never really make an effort, like I was maybe a few months ago. But I think other people will be working their whole life and they always get near to this satisfaction or this full potential, and they can also be very happy with where they're going. But I believe, I think it's not something defined. Like, everybody can change their opinion about it. Everybody can be like, at this point I want to say fuck it to everybody and I don't want to hang out with my friends. I think everybody can be very fluid in that sense. 1 week or 1 month they can be like, okay, I'm fully driven, I want to do this shit. And the other month they're like a bit slackier, and as long as they're moving towards the direction they want to go, I feel perfectly happy for them or happy for myself. But I think it's difficult to stay focused on what you want to achieve, because we have a lot of nuisance around us, distractions, people with different goals, people that want your time for different goals. I don't mean being selfish is the way to go, but I also believe that my own satisfaction and potential comes first before I start doing other stuff for people. I don't know. I just don't get that much satisfaction of actually being with or helping certain persons. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I'm
difficult
definitely
to
not
say.
a hero on that front either. But I don't know. It's
Is it something you've like? I've talked about it with my mom a bit, but is it something that you feel like it's lacking with us? Like, we should feel more like satisfied with helping others, or be more interested in people's lives? How do you see that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I know that it's like a kind of a weakness, so that it's just not very natural to me. So yeah, but I think it's definitely. We've talked about this a little before, but it's, you appreciate it when other people help you and when other people are interested. So it's just, you should return the favor, like, to those people that you value. I mean,
I don't mean to say that I don't give back what I get. That's like common sense for me, but that's like very quid pro quo in my head, you know.
Yeah, that's different than just doing it, but that's just also not who I am. So I won't go further than that, probably. It's also pretty brutal to say, but
that's also what I had to say to my mom. Like, at some level, the amount of time and money I want to invest in certain things kind of becomes too difficult for me. And I don't know if it's just like something that maybe, I don't know what made us or made me this way, you know. Is it normal, or is it just something that everybody feels and nobody really tries to say it or says it out loud? I don't know. It's difficult sometimes.
I think it just comes with self-confidence a little bit, and maybe slightly thinking, not that you are better than other people, but you do really valuing your own opinion, and you're just, I don't know, maybe it's not really those traits, but it's definitely some personality traits that just have a higher tendency of being you're just less focused on relationships in your life.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's a good thing, you know? Like, it's how does that fit in your full potential, you know?
Yeah.
How much of your time should you help others around you? How much of your time should we focus on ourselves?
For me, that's also part of it. I'm trying to compensate on that part and just go out of my way to.
No, I can tell.
Try to make up for that, and that counts as productive time for me. I value it as high as work. Wait, it's not the same as work, but it's like
Yeah, yeah. It's just difficult for me sometimes, I think, because there is like if I put in, I would say, this much hour into some project, I would see some progress, and with helping others, it's a bit like a bottomless pit sometimes. Like you can help shovel or get water out of the pit, but there will always be water, you know?
Mm.
And I don't know, sometimes it feels like I'm just being part of it, but not really fixing it or something. You know, like you're there to help and do the things, but there is maybe not so much improvement or involvement,
Don't really.
and you keep doing similar things or something. You know, for example, a needy friend. I don't.
Uh,
That's always like, hey, do you want to hang out? And you're like, okay, that's nice. I
mm,
want to hang out with you to help you a bit also,
mm,
because maybe they have less friends or something.
mm,
But it's not something that always like satisfies you, you know? Like it's
mm,
something you always kind of
yeah,
does for the other person.
yeah. And a lot of people would just be happy because they made this person
Yeah,
happy.
and that's difficult for me. I have a
Mm,
few examples in my head of these kind of
mm,
cases.
yeah, yeah. Don't think I'm definitely on that side of the spectrum, but I don't think I'm super extreme on that part. I mean, maybe, yeah. I don't know. It's not our strong point.
No,
Like,
definitely. I think
uh,
much of the
mm,
people know that we are not the best people to keep in touch with.
yeah,
We
yeah,
don't, yeah, we don't engage too much from ourselves. I think
mm,
that's for me partially just, that I never really,
it takes a lot of effort
yeah,
to do everything you want to do for yourself, and then
and
sometimes
then
you just can't
extra,
make that
yeah.
time, or it just, yeah,
And when I don't reach that doing things for myself level, I find it difficult to help others, because I feel like I
yeah,
should first help
same.
myself. And
I think
I
that's
think
healthy.
people, I
Mm.
think people are, I think it's also healthy,
I mean,
but I think other people usually don't do this.
no,
I think
no,
we are a bit more on the minority in that part.
yeah, I probably a lot of people will just go to friends to and just go be social to make themselves feel better. I mean, it's not really being social. It's yeah, no, like helping others. It's yeah, no,
It's difficult being
yeah,
altruistic. I,
yeah,
everybody wants to be this kind of guy that I
yeah.
can help others, but if you
Mm,
actually take note of what you have to do and how much time you have to invest,
mm.
it's a big part sometimes, you know.
And honestly, if you really would want me to help you, you should. I mean, don't have to do anything, but like ask and then like tell them. You could tell me that it's like it would be really important, or like it would be really nice for me if you
Yeah,
could come do this. I don't know. I need a little bit of an extra push because
yeah, I think
I
definitely.
people that that makes it like obvious that I don't really want to do it, but if you really want me there, I will be there. I do feel like I'm kind of that way.
I
So
have that feeling with my parents, especially, that if
mm,
they ask me to do something
mm,
in the restaurant for them, I only
mm,
jump in or help them when it's really the
yeah,
last resort, you know.
yeah,
And that's
mm,
kind of what I meant with the bottomless pits. Like
mm,
there is always help that they
mm,
can,
yeah,
that they need, you know. And I could
mm,
always help them, but
mm,
it on the end of the day, it doesn't stop the pit
no.
from drying up or whatever.
But sometimes it also feels good because you're like, oh, this is what maybe someone else would have done.
Yeah, and I
Mm,
think those moments are the moments that
mm,
they are like, we really need you, and then you're
mm,
like, okay, I feel
mm,
satisfied
yeah,
being there.
yeah.
I feel
Exactly the same
like
thing again. You're just satisfied with
yeah,
like this, probably what a good son would do or whatever. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
Maybe we get too little
mm,
satisfaction from. I don't know. I think
mm,
it's pretty much that what what it is
mm,
for me, that I get too little satisfaction from like casual helping things, you know,
yeah,
casually helping my parents, casually helping
mm,
other people. It it gives too little satisfaction, I guess, and it's difficult to say sometimes, especially to your parents or something. Like, I don't actually want to help you. It's not something you want to say, but on the other hand, yeah, you also want to achieve the level of potential you want for yourself, and that's always like a trade-off for me. If I have to invest in that, I have less to invest in myself.
Yeah, or you could take it off your other time, but yeah, no, it's always gonna be a trade-off, exactly.
Yeah, it's difficult. But anyways, I think I will not be happier if it's difficult to say, man. Damn, what is my full? There's like such a, maybe it's like a scale that never ends. Your full potential. You can never reach your full potential.
Yeah,
How about
it
that?
it would just take some humility to be like, this is my full potential. It's probably also a little lacking for me.
That you always envision yourself doing more or
Yeah,
better
it's
things.
kind of a standard thing. Like, you think you're meant for greatness, or like a
Yeah.
lot of people probably think that, and only a few are probably actually.
That's true.
So probably also will come when you get older. A little bit of humility, maybe. Be like, yeah, I think this is the best I can do.
If you encounter some experiences that you were not able to solve, I guess, like most of the things that are getting thrown at me, I'll always find some solution to it or get some workaround. But I guess if there's like something that and this maybe for me honestly is addiction for me, maybe like the first thing I have to admit at some point, maybe, that I cannot do it on my own, you know. That's maybe that's where the humility begins for me. I don't know.
A good bombshell.
Yeah. But yeah, that's another whole other discussion for maybe another time.
Yep.
Anyways, I really enjoyed talking with you. I think it was pretty okay. 25 minutes. I think we speedrun this one.
It was almost an hour, I think.
Yeah, 52 minutes. Sorry, I said 25. Yeah. Sorry, 52. So.
But still a good speed run.
Yeah, a good speed run for a pod. I think it doesn't have to be longer. Like, these were the kind of questions I was wondering how you saw them, and.
No, it's a good talk.
We have. Thank you for joining, and.
Thank
you guys
for having me. Yeah. Peace out.
You want to shout out your Instagram channel or something?
No.
No. You don't want to get the famous.
No.
One day he will become famous because of this clip. No, I'm just kidding. Why am I doing always this? I don't know.
You're just memeing yourself, I guess.
Memeing myself because I don't want to get my full potential.
Shut up, bro. Shut the fuck up.
Anyways, have a blessed night, and see you guys next week.